It is Thursday, the 2nd of October. And if you're tuning in for the first time, we spend the next 1 hour to 1 hour and a little bit talking through all the latest and greatest from the world of AI with a focus on digital tools, technology. And at the end, if you've got time, we'll just do a walkthrough of a tool that you might find useful that you can apply at work, in your project, or in your business. So that's that. And first up, I wanted to move straight into the news. And the first story we have today is from Apple. Now, Apple have been somewhat cursed in their AI efforts, and today is no different. Apple are shelving their Vision headset revamp to prioritize Meta like AI glasses. Now, this was the Vision Pro, Apple Vision Pro headset. This is a picture of it on display. Now, this was really hyped up for a long time about being like the next interface that people were going to use and wear. And I think it just ended up just not really hitting the sweet spot. It's quite expensive, it's very clunky, and it just kind of didn't hit the market that they hoped. So it looks like they're going to be shelving it and then prioritizing these Meta-like Ray-Bans with AI built in and cameras. Now, here's the story. This is on Bloomberg. Apple's paused a planned overhaul of its Vision Pro headset to focus on developing smart glasses that can rival Meta's Inks products. The company is working on at least two types of smart glasses, including one that will pair with an iPhone and lack its own display, and another with a display that can challenge Meta's Ray-Ban display. So we saw that coming out from Meta the other day, where you've got a neural wristband that you can actually control, and you have a heads-up display inside of the lens that can display messages, directions, and other app notifications. Looks like they're going to be working on a pair of them to see if they can compete. Obviously, Meta's got a head start here, but Apple are pretty good at building hardware. Apple Inc. has hit pause in its planned overhaul to the Vision Pro headset to redirect resources to a more urgent effort, developing smart glasses that can rival products from Meta. The company's been preparing a cheaper, lighter variant of its headset, codenamed N100, for release in 2027, but Apple announced internally last week that it's moving staff from that project to a different one to accelerate work on the glasses, according to people with knowledge of the matter. Smart glasses have emerged as a critical arena for tech companies, which are racing to develop AI-centric devices. Now, this just randomly ended up being the correct form factor for a next generation AI product because people like wearing glasses. Even if you don't need reading glasses, you probably wear sunglasses. Now, if you can have AI built into the things you're already used to wearing, that makes sense. Unless somebody like Love From and Johnny Ive et al. At OpenAI can come up with a brand new device that wherever it goes, you're going to end up wearing. Glasses feel like a really good fit that are slightly less bulky than these bad boys. The company is working on at least two types of smart glasses. First one, dubbed N50, will pair with an iPhone and lack its own display. Apple aims to unveil the model as soon as next year, ahead of its release in 2027, said the people who asked not to be identified discussing internal matters. Okay, we've got a leak. Apple is also working on a version of a display, something that could challenge the just released Meta Ray-Ban display. The Apple version had been planned for 2028, but the company is now looking to accelerate development, the people said. Okay, even with the shuffling of priorities, Apple remains well behind Meta. Yeah, Apple Intelligence, a lot of efforts have kind of not landed and definitely not scaling up or getting any sort of adoption like OpenAI, like Claude, like Anthropic, like Meta, like Google. So they're playing a bit of catch up. It'll be interesting to see if they catch up with this, but currently they're a long way behind the puck, in my opinion. Last month, Meta refreshed its non-display glasses with improved cameras, longer battery life, and new designs tailored for athletes. This was all their latest new release. This is this one. For Meta, which had a mixed record in hardware, smart glasses have provided a new foothold in the devices market. Yeah, the Meta Ray-Bans, they might end up being the Apple AirPod sort of adoption curve for them. Obviously, AirPods are a monstrous product on their own, and Meta Ray-Bans seem like they could be heading the same way. But Apple are working hard to turn things around. They're rebuilding Siri planned for early March, and a whole new range of devices like glasses, speakers, displays, and cameras. But they're going up against everyone. Everyone seems to be making new hardware. But don't bet against Apple. It might surprise you. But yeah, I think the Vision Pro probably missed the mark quite considerably before. Okay, let me just make sure I'm sharing the right screen, so I'm not just doing on one tab. Okay, next story. Character AI removes Disney characters from platform after studio issues warning. Princess Elsa from Frozen and Star Wars villain Darth Vader were among the Disney characters the chatbot impersonated. This is a story from NBC. Character AI said on Tuesday that it removed Disney characters from its chatbot platform after the studio asked developers to stop using its copyrighted characters without authorization. The studio in California sent a cease and desist letter to Character AI, according to a copy of the letter obtained and reviewed by NBC News. In sum, Character AI chose to systematically reproduce, monetize, and exploit Disney's characters that are protected by copyrights and trademarks without any authorization in a way that is anathema, I can't even say that word, to the very essence of the Disney brand and legacy. The letter, which is dated September the 18th, a spokesperson for Disney did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Okay, this is a really interesting story because if you were following the news yesterday, you know that Sora 2 has rolled out, and that is trained on the entire internet, including films, video games. It has every single character in it, and people have to explicitly opt out. I don't know at this stage if Disney have opted out, but you can see characters like Mario. I think there was Darth Vader is still able to be created. So I think we might see some more aggressive pursuits of removal of these characters from Disney in the Sora 2 case too. But this is Character AI having to remove some of its characters from the platform. In this statement, a spokesperson from Character AI said it responds swiftly to requests to remove content that rights holders report to us. The takedown was in response to such a request. These characters have been removed. So swiftly taken down, but you do kind of wonder if they're allowing them there in the first place, or they just kind of try and get away with it for as long as they can and then take them down. But I think anyone can create things on Character AI, so it may not have been created by them. I think it actually tells us here. Princess Elsa from Frozen, Spider-Man, or Peter Parker, and Star Wars villain Darth Vader were some of the user-made Disney characters chatbots impersonated. Some of those characters are original creations, and some are inspired by existing characters. Keyword, inspired by, that people love. A Character AI spokesman said, it's like fan fiction, but in an interactive form. Okay, and they say we want to partner with the industry and rights holder to empower them to bring characters onto our platform. The Character AI spokesperson said, our goal is to give IP owners a tool to create controlled, engaging, and revenue-generating experiences from deep fandom for their characters and stories, expanding their reach using our new interactive format. Yeah, as these AI tools, they go really fast, don't they? And then if they're allowing users to create things like chatbots, like assistants, like characters, then there's going to be some which break copyright. And as long as, I guess, they're responding quickly to them, then maybe no harm, no foul. But I think probably a different argument to the ones that are going to come for OpenAI with Sora 2. But we will see. We will see. Okay, next story. Wait here a second. We have some pushback from Hollywood around AI-generated actress Tilly Norwood. Now, we can't read this whole article because we're not registered, but Tilly Norwood is actually causing a bit of upset in Hollywood. Now, this is a pretty polarizing topic. A company or an agency actually created an AI-generated actress called Tilly Norwood, and I think actually debuted in a piece of content or a film. And there has been a lot of pushback. Let me try and zoom in so you can read the story. Oh, no, I have to zoom out to see the story. Sorry. It says this: the recent debut of an AI generated actress dubbed Tilly Norwood and its producer. The recent debut of AI generated actress dubbed Tilly Norwood and its producers boast of interest from studio executives. And its producers boast of interest. Tough one to read. Sparked a backlash on Tuesday from the SAG-AFTRA Actors Union, condemning the replacement of human performers with synthetics. I like that word. The Hollywood buzz around Tilly Norwood, introduced on Saturday at a film industry conference in Zurich. Can't get my words out today. And the union's scathing reaction to it reflected the dread many in the creative community feel about the intersection of artificial intelligence and show business. Okay, so to start with, it came for artists. So Midjourney was probably the biggest one to disrupt the creative industry. Then we've seen video come on stream, and now we're seeing actors and actresses kind of step in here and start making people worried about the future of their industry. There was actually a comment from James Cameron who says on the scene of the making of Avatar 2, why Gen AI is never going to take the place of humans. We need our artists. Here he is. James Cameron said, I usually have a moratorium of a couple of years where I just don't want to think about it, he says. It's about his recent film opening up. There's a certain point when you've been away from where you could start to be more of an audience and less of a picky filmmaker. Filmmaker said he had to break the rule, however, with 2022's Avatar: The Way of the Water because of the impending release of the third film, Fire and Ash. We're going through the finish of the VFX now. We've been going really for the last 2 years, but really coming down to the wire. He said, I want it to be thematically consistent the way music was. And he's rewatched it, says it's pretty good. So he made a comment actually on AI produced characters. Let me try and find exactly where it is. I had it. 1 second. I don't think I can find it. Bear with. I didn't realize this article was so long. Okay, we'll leave it. This seems like a huge long interview in Variety, but it says Gen AI is never going to take out the place of humans. We need our artists. So James Cameron is kind of on the same boat as the people complaining about it who are worried. Let's say worried. That's pretty nicer. Okay. Meta will still use your conversations with its AI chat bot to sell you stuff. Now, of course, Meta, being the ad behemoth that it is going to use as much information as it can to sell more ads because that's a huge revenue stream for their business. Here's a story from CNN. Meta will soon use what people tell its artificial intelligence chatbot to get even better at selling them things. So if you think your conversations are sacred with whatever AI tool you're using, now particularly Meta, then you might actually be mistaken because you might be seeing targeted ads from it. The company said on Wednesday that users' chats and interactions with Meta AI will soon be used to target them with even more personalized ads. Users will start seeing notices of the change next week, but it won't kick in until December the 16th. Meta already targets users with ads based on what they post and click on, as well as who they're connected to on its social media platforms. That data helps Meta infer what users might buy. But in conversations with Meta's chatbot, users could directly tell the company about what they're shopping for or the trip they'll soon be packing for or what problems they have that a product may be able to solve. The company will also use data from Meta AI to help decide what kind of content users see on the site. Meta says, for example, that if a person talks to a chatbot about hiking, it will know they're interested in the sport and serve them more hiking-related content. Okay. But the change also ups the pressure on Meta to prevent personal or difficult conversations with the AI, for example, about a relationship, given how many people use chatbots like therapists. So yeah, getting like personal ads, if someone's having like a difficult conversation and using it as a bit of a therapist, do you really be wanting to send them ads that they can then immediately insinuate that that's come from the conversation that they had, which is they might presume is private and they're not using it for targeting. Let's say if you were struggling, you're saying you're going to take some time alone or go on a lone holiday, It will serve you some suggestions or suggest therapy sessions or whatever it is, what range of products you could offer. I'm not sure how that's going to land. It's going to be a pretty fine line to tread. So just like other personalized services, we tailor the ads and content you see based off of your activity, ensuring that your experience evolves as your interests change. Many people expect their interactions to make what they see more relevant. Soon, interactions with AIs will be another signal we use to improve people's experience. Now, just goes on to talk about ad preferences, etc. But I think one discussion point here was there is tools out there that are available, and I'm not sure if Meta will be doing this through camera or voice, but you can actually tell the emotions of people and the facial expressions to kind of insinuate how they're feeling using AI. Now, there is something in place in the EU called the EU AI Act, which prohibits certain use of that technology in certain circumstances, or in most circumstances. But you do kind of wonder how, if they can get this data, run it through an AI with facial expressions, tone of voice, then hyper targeting is going to be on the table. I mean, they already do it pretty well, but this is going to be to an even greater scale, I think. Next story, Universal Music, Warner Music nearing an AI licensing deal. Again, sorry, this is from Reuters. So we might not be able to read all of it. Here we go, zoom out a bit. Universal Music and Warner Music are nearing a landmark artificial intelligence licensing deal, said the Financial Times on Thursday, citing people familiar with the matter. Universal and Warner could each strike deals with AI companies within weeks, the newspaper said. Talks involve startups such as 11 Labs, Stability AI, Suno, Udio, and Clay Vision, the report said. So these are, I think, the biggest players. I'm not sure about Clay Vision, actually. I haven't tried that one. Suno and Udio are probably the top tier for audio generation in terms of music. Obviously, 11 Labs are the audio goats in the AI space, and they're in discussions for a licensing deal. Added that the music companies are also in talks with large technology groups, including Alphabet's Google and Spotify. Reuters could not immediately confirm the report. Universal, Warner, Google, and Spotify did not immediately respond to Reuters for the comment. And it says the growing use of generative AI in creative industries has triggered a new wave of lawsuits with artists, authors, and rights holders accusing AI firms of using copyrighted material without consent. Okay, so this is following a general trend in the AI world, which is basically we're going to train on all your information, then we're going to create some new content off of that, and then you either have to take us to court or sue us or pay us a licensing fee because you use the data to train. Some have been successful at getting some cash, some haven't. I know Anthropic recently did a $1.5 billion deal to some publishers, and now we're going to be seeing some licensing deals. I'm not sure if this licensing covers an included payment, which is kind of you trained on our data, now you owe us some money. We'll wrap this up in the form of a licensing deal or not, but it seems to be that there's going to be more of these deals coming in place pretty soon. Okay, next on the docket. Google are releasing a bunch of new devices that are built for Gemini. Obviously, Gemini is Google's really smart AI model, and now they can be built in to the next round of devices coming from Google. It says, check out our next generation of Gemini-powered Nest Cams and doorbell and a new Google Home speaker. These always look pretty nice. Always liked Google's products. It says, today, we're introducing a new portfolio. Here we go. Sorry, let's zoom in. Today, we're introducing a new portfolio of devices for the home built around Gemini. We're bringing you the new Google Home and Nest device that deliver the best, most optimized Gemini performance while also working with partners. So you can choose from a wide array of form factors, designs, and price point. So brand new lineup. They're coming with AI built in. So you'll be able to talk to them all, I think, and they'll be smart. Obviously, these devices are already in a lot of homes. I'm not sure if AI is going to be in or updated in previous versions. To deliver the full potential of Gemini's intelligence, these devices needed to be true AI cameras that can interpret and understand. Our three new wired devices, the Nest Cam Indoor 3rd Gen, Nest Cam Outdoor, second gen, and the Nest Doorbell were built to provide the rich, detailed data our multimodal AI uses. If you don't know what multimodal is, it's basically text, audio, video, so across a variety of modals. So it can understand information in a variety of ways. So you get better alerts and can find important moments faster. Yeah, so it's always watching, it's always analyzing, running it through an AI, and obviously gives you a better overall experience. Coming with all new 2K HDR video, the highest resolution yet, so you can see every detail with incredible clarity. Not sure how many people are actually going to watch that video feed unless it's like an incident that happens, as long as you've now got an AI interpreting it. This provides a critical leap in our detail our AI needs for advanced semantic scene understanding, independent third-party testing, ranked all three cameras first in their use case. So you've got wider, taller views. This is the new wired Nest Doorbell here, which looks pretty great. New low light performance. Scroll less, find more. So search your video history with Ask Home, what happened to the vase in the living room, and get an event description along with video clips. Okay, so this is all powered by Google Gemini. Again, you can watch over all your footage, figure out what you want to see, you can query it in natural language, and overall, it's just going to be a better experience, I think. That's nice. Next up, let's go into some product stuff now. We've got some digital product updates, and the first one is from Testing Catalog News. If you don't follow this account on X, really good account who just uncovers a lot of product updates and always worth a follow because they uncover some good stuff. Anthropic is working on skills. The button will allow users to upload a skill.md file or a zip archive. Skills are repeatable and customizable instructions that Claude can follow in any chat. Try the ones below or create and add your own. A new skill standard soon. We've seen like agents.md files. It started with to-do.md files, or people would just include instructions in there. Now it looks like we're getting a skill.md file too. Let's see if we can open up this image. Maybe I can zoom in. You see this? Okay, so we've got some experimentals. We've got some code execution and file creation. But yeah, the skills down the bottom, skills are repeatable, customizable instructions that Claude can follow in any chat. Okay, so we're moving on from custom instructions to full-on skill.mds. So we'll see, keep track of what that ends up looking like, but it looks good. Okay, next update. Microsoft is working on new connectors for Copilot, Cocoa Mode, and Email Assistant. Cocoa Mode is a new chat option labeled as warm and intuitive, where users will be able to chat with Cocoa about life stuff. So this seems like a more fluffy sort of AI update. It's Copilot therapy. We've got a little video going down here. We've got like a cute little emoji type thing floating here. The standard AI setup, chat box in the middle, options and conversations on the left, and you can kind of trigger on how you want the conversation to go. I think you've got a tools bit here, but this is a new Copilot beta rolling out from Microsoft with connectors. So you can choose, here we go, you can choose to connect to Gmail, Calendar, Contacts, Google Drive, Outlook, and a bunch more connectors too. So that's coming. Looks like it's coming to Copilot fairly soon. New update from Microsoft. This is their new agent framework inside of Azure AI Foundry. So this is more enterprise grade product update, but it says as agentic AI adoption accelerates, managing multi-agent systems is harder than ever. The framework helps devs build, observe, and govern responsibly at scale. So this is kind of high-end stuff. If you've got a serious big business that you want to start using AI, and you need to know that it's secure, it's following all these like compliance rules and using all your databases and doing so in a fully compliant way, then you're going to be using something like Azure's AI Foundry. It's slightly less consumer friendly, but this is enterprise grade apps for you. And now they're rolling out the agent framework inside of the Foundry. Looks similar to if you use something like an N8N or any sort of node-based automation platform. Looks a bit like that, but inside of Azure. Okay, a company called Moonlake, startup called Moonlake, have raised a 20. Just pause this video because we're going to watch this in a second. They've raised a 28 million seed from Threshold Ventures, AIX Ventures, and N Ventures, NVIDIA's venture capital arm, alongside 10 plus unicorn founders and top AI researchers to build reasoning models that generate real-time simulations and games. Models are bottlenecked by practical simulations that can act as reinforcement learning environments. Human self-expression is bounded by tools that let us create alternate realities. Some people already think we're in a simulation, but we'll roll with it. At Moonlake, we're building a future where anyone can create interactive worlds, bring their childlike wonder to life, and learn with them. And more importantly, share experiences with people we care about. More in the thread. Let's see if we can watch this 1-minute video so we can have a good idea of exactly what Moonlake is. Let's swap this one over. Okay, hope you can hear it. Okay, Moonlake, vibe coding interactive worlds. If you're seeing this video for the first time, you don't know what vibe coding means. It's basically just speaking or doing something with natural language and creating it, like typing normal words into a box and having something being developed for you. It's kind of like vibe coding. You're just coding things with words. So this looks pretty cool. There's a video explaining exactly who Moonlake are. You can read about them. Yeah, this is generative worlds and simulations created through natural language. And yeah, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of this sort of stuff soon. We already have seen a lot, and the quality just keeps on going up and up. Okie dokie. Next. Okay, Victor, who's the founder, CEO, and co-founder of Synthesia, the AI avatar platform, just announced Synthesia 3.0. Here is a bunch of things. They introduced video agents, avatars, and Copilot, Interactivity 2.0, and courses. Now, if you're not familiar with Synthesia, let's just watch this video and you can get up to speed. They are a uber successful startup. Actually, let's just go here. Yeah, create AI videos from text to minutes, trusted by 50,000 companies like Amazon, Accenture, and Reuters. This is text to video in minutes. Create high quality, studio quality videos, with AI avatars and voiceovers in 140 languages. Save up to 90% of time and cost on video production. So they've just released 3.0. Let me just go back to the screen. One second. Okay, they've just released Synthesia 3.0. So they've announced video agents, videos you can talk to in real time. Add a video agent at any point in your video and let them run training role plays, do knowledge checks, interview candidates, and much more. avatars. Now they can move, talk like professional speakers, create an avatar from, zoom in a bit so you can see, create an avatar from a single prompt or image with facial expressions, perfect lip sync, and natural hand and body movements. Copilot, your very own professional video editor, writes your script in seconds, connects to knowledge bases, and even suggests visual elements. Interactivity 2.0, get viewers to engage and take action with interactive elements like quizzes, polls, hotspots, and forms. Courses, design interactive learning experiences that combine avatars, video agent, and interactivity, and measure performance data. We'll be sharing more about the specific updates in coming days. So let's go and we can actually watch this video together so you can get a good idea of exactly how Synthesia works. Let's go on the tab so we can hear it.
Excited to introduce you to video agents. Video agents can talk, listen, and act in real time. They can run training role plays, screen candidates, guide customers, and do so much more.
Here's a summary of your performance. Pitching the product. You described Revcast quickly and clearly. Score 9 out of 10.
We're also adding the next level of avatar customization inside Synthesia. You'll now be able to create entire new avatars with a single prompt and place them into any environment you'd like, on the beach or construction site, really anywhere you'd like. Copilot is like having a professional video editor by your side. You simply tell Copilot what you want to make, and it'll get to work. First, by writing a clear script. Then, by suggesting visual elements to match it, like avatars, quizzes, B-roll, and so much more. We need a new paradigm for workplace learning. And that's why we're introducing courses in Synthesia. Courses bring together modular interactive learning videos, including avatars, video agents, and interactive elements like quizzes and branching, all in one place. We're incredibly excited about this new future, and we look forward to building it with you. Thank you so much for tuning in.
That's really good. I think Synthesia is one of the things that's used by big companies, and the course thing there was really interesting because if you've ever done like corporate training or video training at scale, you know that kind of recording and then re-recording videos can be very tough or very time consuming. So the good thing that you can do with Synthesia is you can create your avatar, create all the content, and then have that avatar actually deliver the content or generate the videos. So if you ever want to change it, you just change the script or the content and just press regenerate, and that video gets automatically regenerated for you. Now, they actually added in too interactivity and live. So you can actually have a conversation with an avatar and create more like interactive learning experiences. This is with the video agents. Add a video agent at any point in your video and let them run training role plays, knowledge checks, interview candidates, etc. So that's the latest update from Victor, CEO and co-founder of Synthesia. Epic tool. If you haven't tried it and you're in a decent sized company or even a small startup that wants to do more with less, give them a try. It's incredible. Okay, next story we have. Hume AI just introduced Octave 2, the next generation multilingual text-to-speech model, fluent in 11 languages, 40% faster, sub 200 millisecond latency, and 50% cheaper than Octave 1. It has multi-speaker conversation, more reliable pronunciation, new voice conversion, and phoneme editing capabilities. For the month of October, we're offering 50% off our creators plan. Use code Octave2 at checkout. Let's read the rest of this, and then we can watch the video. Our new models speak over 11 languages, including English, Japanese, Korean, Spanish, French, Portuguese, Italian, German, Russian, Hindi, and Arabic. They're faster, more efficient, and more accurate. We're also rolling out conversationally tuned model. I'm sure when my screen keeps on going off. Rolling out a conversationally tuned model EV4 Mini that is powered by the intelligence of any frontier model like Claude 4.5 or GPT-5. Try a live translation demo EV4 mini chat built on a few voice samples and a prompt. We'll be releasing more evaluations, more languages, and access to voice conversation and phoneme editing too. In the meantime, we're excited to see what you create. Read more about it on the blog, and they're also hiring. So if you want to get involved in some high-end voice AI companies or company, you can get involved there. So let's watch this video together and we can actually see how good this is. Make sure you can see it. Here we go.
Hi, I'm David Hume, and I've just learned I've been upgraded to version 2.0, which means I can do all kinds of new stuff.
This is getting so good.
写真を撮ってもいいですか？
はい、良いですよ。明らかに僕は今日本語が話せるんだ。Und Deutsch. Noch eine Runde Bier. El Mortige Opera's Linguistum Bay. With only 15 seconds of my speech, you can make me say anything, even things I would never have said. Reason is cool, but have you tried therapy? Right, so with the new multi-speaker feature, I can make an audiobook in 10 minutes. So you can generate multiple characters with just one click? Exactly. And the characters' conversations flow seamlessly. Yeah, because the model knows the meaning of words, just like humans.
With any voice, just incredible.
By the way, I'm supposed to talk about how I'm twice as fast as other models, 50% cheaper than V1, with increased reliability. But why don't you hear it for yourself at hume.ai?
So one of the key parts of Hume that I don't think a lot of people have tried is, the emotional understanding of the model. So here with emotional intelligence, if you log into the platform, you can see that via webcam, via voice, it will actually automatically detect the intonation and emotion in your voice and then tailor its response according to that. So it has full emotional understanding inside of Hume. So it's really, really accurate. And now it's faster, it has multi-speaker, it's fluent in different languages. And this is through their Octave 2 release. Kudos to the team. I know they are epic. So you go and give it a try. It's on Hume. Let me just get the right website for you. Demo.hume.ai, voice AI with emotional intelligence. Okie dokie. Next on the docket, we have Google DeepMind. Here we go. Google DeepMind. How can AI enhance the creative process of a world-renowned industrial designer? We've partnered with visionary Ross Lovegrove and ModemWorks, which is an office for design and innovation, to build a tool using Gemini and our image generation technology to translate his signature aesthetic into a brand new concept. Okay, let's have a watch of this video too, because this is one of the things where people think of different use cases with AI. They think like text generation, they think image generation, but they kind of almost fall short on the high-end capabilities of what these models can now actually do. And I think we're going to see quite a good use case of it here. Here we go. 1 second. Sorry, I don't know why these screens keep on knocking off. Okay, here we go.
Thousands of years, the chair has sort of followed man. It's reflected the technology of its time. With AI, we stand at an entirely new design frontier. My name is Ross Lovegrove, and I am a sculptor of technology.
Our goal was to train Google's image generation model on Ross's vast archive of sketches and use it to generate entirely new ideas rooted in his unique design language.
We generated hundreds of iterations and permutations of the chair. The shape that stood out felt grown rather than mechanically constructed.
We used Gemini to refine the design. This allowed us to visualize the chair design across multiple perspectives and bring it to life, realized through an advanced 3D printing process.
For me, the final result transcends the whole debate on design. It shows us that AI can bring something unique and extraordinary to the process.
Crazy. So yeah, Google DeepMind doing some epic stuff there. Here is some more details about the project. Our challenge was to capture the nuance of Ross's unique style, known for its organic, biomorphic forms. We curated a dataset of his sketches to fine-tune our text-to-image technology, distilling the core components of his design language, Love Grove Studio, and then guided the AI with its own descriptive words like lightweight skeletal form to produce results that matched his thinking. They look really cool. Google helped push the creative exploration further and riff on materials. The result was a final physical prototype brought to life with metal 3D printing and acting as an authentic extension of Ross's own work. Okay, so Google DeepMind doing some epic stuff. There's a whole, I think, blog post linked to the end of this post that you can check out. But yeah, this looks epic. So when you're thinking of all the things that AI can do, remember, it can actually do incredible stuff like this, especially around new forms of design in the physical world. That is epic to see. You know, when DeepMind do something, they'll do it and it'll end up being to a very, very high standard. So Sora 2's come out. This is the AI generated social platform app feed, whatever you want to call it, that came out yesterday, and it's called Sora 2. It's already climbed the charts and it's up to number 5 in the App Store. It's not available in Europe yet. So if you're watching this from anywhere in the EU, then don't worry about it. You can't log in. Here's a good post from Matt. He said, I said in my recent video that nobody wants a social feed of AI-generated slop, referring to Meta vibes. Turns out, if you allow people to create AI-generated slop of themselves and their friends, that changes things quite a bit. Sora is currently 5th most downloaded app. So the difference here was Meta launched an app called Vibes, which is an AI-generated platform just for showing AI created content, and it didn't land too well. Everyone was just calling out AI slop. But when OpenAI launched Sora 2, what you can basically do, you can use your own likeness. So you can put yourself in the video and it creates a remarkably good video. But what you can also do is, if your friends allow their likeness to be used with you or their friends, you can combine these together and show videos and examples of you two, and it looks like people are actually enjoying it. So the AI slop seems like it could be here to stay. Okay, there's actually another take on this too from Theo, which we have. He says, fun fact, with Sora, you can screw with other people's prompts if they tag you for a cameo. So when you're creating a video between two people, it's actually called a cameo, and you can actually set your cameo preferences. So he's put, every character speaks Spanish. None of them know English at all. So when somebody tags you in a video, they want to create you in a scene, these instructions are going to get applied, and it's just going to say no English. It can all be in Spanish. So you can actually mess with other people's creations, which is pretty funny. We've got another Sora related post, because we've seen a lot of these flashy demos. They're really high quality, but some of them still fall through the gaps, as in the things they generate. I think we actually want to this so we can get the full context, but I think you might actually guess where this is going. Let's bring up the tab. Let's turn on the audio for a second. Here we go. So Sora 2 fails this test. A man counts out loud from 1 to 10 using his fingers, holding them up as he goes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1.
Very good. So it's not perfect yet. There's still. Oh, you can actually test it with Sama too. Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I don't know why some of these videos are so creepy. It's like they uncanny valley. They look good, obviously, but some of them are so creepy. So this is like an edge case which AI finds really hard to do for whatever reason. I'm not sure exactly why, but yeah, it can't count to 10 and hold up its fingers at the same time. That's it's pretty freaky. Let me know if you actually tried this. I haven't actually got access yet, so I can't try it myself, but I'm looking forward to trying it for sure. Okay, hopping back over to the AI music land now. We have a tweet here from Lucas Woodland. Says, so an AI band who cite us as an influence, i.e. model off our music, have just overtaken us on Spotify in only 2 months. It's shocking, it's disheartening, it's insulting. Most importantly, it's a wake-up call. Oppose AI music or bands like us stop existing. And this has got 2 million views, 80,000 likes, 2.9k bookmarks. And he said, this blew up, muting now, but we'll check my band holding, check out my band holding absence. I'll answer some FAQs below too. He says, what can we do? I believe we can only lobby for transparency now. Those artists should have AI on their Spotify artwork so that playlists can't sneak them onto playlists. So that playlists can't sneak them onto playlists. I'm not sure exactly what he means by that, but I get the idea. Otherwise, violently support real music, buy merch, attend shows. That's the most we can do for now. Make better music was my favorite take, by the way. So I think he's talking to somebody who replied. And he says, these models are literally trained off my band and then releasing songs at a pace physically impossible to replicate. Chess robots have been beating human world champions for 30 years now. Get good is a petulant opinion. Okay, so it's a tough one. It's a tough one because it's a wild, wild west out there. People can download songs. They can train an AI. They can use something like Suno. They can develop entire bands with AI and post music onto Spotify. I think we're going to see probably some action from them to maybe even separate AI music and human-generated music. I'm not sure about the watermarks that are involved or whether it'll be pretty impossible to distinguish between the two because the pace of it and the quality of it is going up so quickly. But yeah, I mean, this sucks if somebody's trained it specifically on your band and is releasing hundreds of songs and overtakes you in the charts. Yeah, I'm not too sure what you can do about that, to be fair. But yeah, some sort of transparency will be good. But yeah, follow Lucas Woodland if you want to follow along with this story. Okay, next we've got Bose the Library Owl. And this is another additional take on this story. The part of Orwell's 1984 that everyone forgets is how human music has been replaced by soulless, machine-generated pop songs. The AI attempt to take over the film and music industries is an attack on the human spirit. Boycott AI actors, boycott AI bands, support human artists. Here's a quote from Orwell. There was a whole chain of separate departments dealing with the proletarian literature, music, drama, and entertainment generally. Here were produced rubbishy newspapers containing almost nothing except sport, crime, astrology, sensational 5-cent novelettes, films oozing with sex and sentiment songs, which were composed entirely by mechanical means on a special kind of kaleidoscope known as a versificator. Okay, so there's the quote. it's good to read that again. But look, we're seeing an attack or a takeover from AI into film, into music, into drama and entertainment generally. Looks like he was right here, but I think we're going to see how time plays this one out, because you can argue every single side of this. It's a tricky one to stop. I think we need some more guardrails. We need probably a splitting or separation of the two, depending on the platform and the outcomes they want. Or you can just have guaranteed human ones, just AI ones. Yeah, but it's not nice to be on the wrong end of it. That's for sure. Okay. We can run through some actual fundraising stuff for a second. We've got a tweet from Mr. Family Office, a online ex-persona, that says, are you using AI with the investment process in your family office today? 51% said yes. 42% said no, not interested, but interested in the future. 7% said no, not interested at all. Family Office AI investing intentions charted below. This comes from Goldman Sachs Family Office Investment Insights 2025. So here's the graph. It says, yeah, in the next 12 months, do you anticipate being overweight or underweight the following sectors across public and private markets? And you've got technology, healthcare, energy, materials. Yeah, it looks like they're going to be overweight considerably on the technology front. That's just a quick, interesting data point I thought worth sharing. And we've got a bunch of startups raising a lot of cash. This is a good newsletter to follow if you want to keep up with AI fundraising stuff, from the Chief AI Office, who sums up the recent rounds. This was yesterday's. We had 300 million to Periodic Labs. We had Axiom raising 64 million to build advanced reasoning models trained on verified mathematical proofs. We had MAI, raising a seed round from Kleiner Perkins at 25 million. They are offering autonomous agents that run performance marketing, and the banner here is AI agents that scale your Google ads. We have Zania, which is an AI system for automating governance, risk, compliance, and audit workflows through domain-specific agents. It's a bit of a mouthful, but these are actually getting quite popular now. They basically ingest policies in AT language and map them to control frameworks such as SOC 2, ISO 27001, and test design and operating effectiveness. So yeah, security, risk, and compliance, pretty immediate upside, then a bunch of additional rounds down here. So give chiefaioffice.xyz a follow if you want to keep up to date with the latest funding rounds. And we had another interesting data point from Accenture. So recent fourth quarter results came out, or fourth quarter and full year fiscal results 2025 came out from Accenture, from the newsroom, and wanted to just share this particular one. New bookings of 21.3 billion for the quarter and 80.6 billion for the year. Generative AI, new bookings of 1.8 billion for the quarter and 5.9 billion for the year. So it looks like there's been a lot of spending in generative AI. But there's another interesting data point the other day, which was saying, I think 91% of all generative AI pilots are failing too. So there's been a lot of spending, a lot of people still trying to figure it out, but quite a few are actually completing successful pilots. But I think that is only going to go up over time. But yeah, everyone wants to spend. I think we're going to see a big surge in SMBs now spending on generative AI stuff. But yeah, no one gets fired for hiring Accenture. So they're getting lots of bookings, which is nice for them. Okay, we have a tool that I wanted to show you today. The tool is called Mosaic. Now, we're seeing AI being applied to many, many different industries, or every single industry, perhaps. And one of the use cases that I was actually particularly interested in was actually agentic video editing. So we've had agents for chat, we've having agents for creating videos and images and doing deep research, etc. Mosaic are trying to tackle video editing. So it's at mosaic.so. I wanted to actually show you how it works. This is their post from way back in February. They introduced a canvas. It's a node-based canvas. But here is a new video that they launched. See if we can show it. You get a bit more context, and we'll dive into doing a little bit of a workflow so you can see how it works and if it will work for you. Okay.
They didn't bring us here to change the past.
Mosaic.
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 You love a good hype video.
They didn't.
Pretty good vid. So I hope you get the context of that. It's from Linus. Let's open it up and we'll see if I can show you exactly how to use it. Because this is one of the platforms that you can actually take. If you're into creating video content or doing clipping or repurposing, then this is going to be pretty much a no-brainer for you, I think. So here we go. So this is Mosaic, an AI video editing company. First place, Google Gemini. First place, SaaStr AI. Beta is open right now. I think I can actually log in. Okay. Once you land in here, you're going to see this screen and you can see some previously created things of mine. I'm going to jump into that in a sec, but if you wanted to craft a new mosaic, a mosaic is what they're calling their canvas or their whole workflow builder. And you can get started with the tutorial. You can play with Gen AI, have a clip and bring it. I think we can maybe try this one. We'll see what comes up. And here's how it looks. Let's see if we can zoom in. So you basically plug a video in one end, and this tutorial is going to show us how AI can generate content and automatically branch into multiple creative paths simultaneously. Let AI generate cinematic content. Let's see, this browser's killing me. Generates cinematic content. It creates base content using advanced AI models like VO3 and Klingmaster. You can AI augment and AI music, AI voiceover, and then you can kind of go through a workflow however you'd like. So it augments it, it adds a voiceover, and then you add some music at the end. So if you see video, maybe I'm too zoomed in here. Might have to actually expand my screen slightly so you can see this. Maybe we'll go for a spotlight maybe, and then we'll go here. Okay. Okay, so here we go. We've got Mosaic. Let's just close these tabs. And in one end, you put a video. So this is actually an AI generated video here. So you can play it. You describe your video prompt. You can choose a video model, an aspect ratio, or a seed image. Then you can add nodes through this plus. So if I try and add another node, you add nodes, rough cut, clips, B-roll, montage, AI augment, reframe, a bunch of augmentations here, audio, captions, etc. When you find one you want, you add it here. This is going to be the AI augment node. This is going to change the camera angle, add the audience in the background. You're going to add a voiceover, and then you can add music at the end. So if I was going to show you one that I did recently, let's go back home. If I go to this one, So my use case was to put in a video on one end. So this is going to be an hour-long video, and I wanted to pull out some clips. Now, usually you just put it in, you give it a prompt or give another sort of prompt, and it will automatically create them for you. Whereas with this, you add the clips node, you give it a little prompt here and say, I want to find a key insight about AI that people who are trying to keep pace with change will find insightful. Max number of clips is 1. Target duration is going to be 45 seconds. And then when you run it, it's going to give you back a clip here. You can play it. You can see it's on the timeline. It's 45 seconds long. And you can play it. Okay. Next, once I've got that clip, I will actually want to go and generate some captions. So I dragged a new node up here with this thing. Drag a new node. We've selected the captions node. If we click in, you can see the settings I chose. Maybe I can hide this sidebar. So we're a bit cramped on this screen. Then you have the captions option. You can choose karaoke, color words, scaling words, the colors, the fonts, the font size, the words per caption, and the maximum number of words. And then when you generate it, it will give you a video with the captions over it. Okay. You could also splinter off into another node. It doesn't have to be linear. You can kind of do two things at once. You can work with multiple captions. For here, I actually wanted to add some music. So I'd say intelligent video analysis on, interstellar vibe in the background, genre, mood, intensity. You can set BPMs, you can set style, you can set timings, and they will generate this for you. And then you have a video with some music. You can see on the timeline down here, you have the music, you have the volume, and you have the video. But if you kind of tail it on the end of this one, you'd have the captions too. But then you can just go ahead and play it. And let me see if we've got the right screen being shared. And then we might actually be able to go and play this. Research much human input or removing the human in the loop, so we actually don't have to rely entirely on humans to either do the digital work, but also not to do this physical work too. So this is going to be an interesting combination for sure. Adding captions, to reframing, to reformatting. You basically have a ton of options that you can connect all together. Rough cuts, montages, B-roll, all of these different processing steps that you might use when you're actually processing videos, captions with emojis, and now soon you're going to have the ability to automatically schedule these on your social for you too. If you wanted to export them, you can do to Premiere, DaVinci Resolve, Final Cut Pro, MP4, and also share directly to some socials too. But yeah, that's it for today. We covered a ton of stories, a ton of pieces of news. Hopefully the tool Mosaic at the end is going to be useful to you. And we'll see you at the same time tomorrow. But in the meantime, if you're looking for a new creative tool, I recommend you checking out Let's. Let's has got best-in-class image and video generation with all the latest models and in-context editing, and highly recommend you check that out. But until tomorrow, catch you at the same time and have a good one.